Good evening. It is 7:05 p.m. The Board of Trustees of LaPorte Independent School District is now convened. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present. Every student's success is our number one priority. As the LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. Audience participation is limited to the patron presentation portion of the meeting. Board members may not respond to the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. Thank you for taking time this evening to join us and for your interest in the LaPorte Independent School District. At this time, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, sorry, got it sidetracked. Will you pledge to the United States flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Order. Color. Post. Ready? See. Center. Face. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Arch time. Arch. Up. Up. Right. 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 Up. Right. Up. 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 Right. 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 Forward. Arch. Up. Up. Right. 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 Up. Right. Up. The presentation of colors was given by Cadet Dirk Johnson, Cadet Cody Rawls, Cadet Michael Williams, and Cadet Mackenzie Bunch. Will you please remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by Deanne Thompson, Board Trustee.
If you will, bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening, and we acknowledge that we are blessed. Our schools are strong beacons of learning and hope in our community. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve children through this district. We are grateful for educators who give selflessly of their talents each day. Please continue to protect them all. We ask that you grant us wisdom in our decisions and guidance in our direction as we meet this evening. With thankful hearts we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Let's go ahead and just do that. You do. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're going to go a couple of things out of order. So we're going to skip from the from item 4, going all the way down now to item 7, board recognitions. And we'll start with the performance by the Lomax Elementary students.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, board, if y'all would come to the front, we'll have student and staff recognitions and partners in education recognition.
Mr. Loudermilk, I know you're out there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Continuing on with our student recognitions, we're recognizing 3 students tonight from the Academy of Viola DeWalt High School. First, Gabby Salinas. Gabby is a senior at the Academy and was accepted to the Texas A&M Aggie Achievers Program. That's a program for students on the autism spectrum. Congratulations, Gabby. Next, Victoria Parker. Victoria will attend Navarro College with a full ride scholarship. That's for the John Deere Ag Mechanics Program sponsored by United and Turf. And finally, Elizabeth Kina Scanlon. Elizabeth has been accepted to attend Schreiner University with a $1,500 scholarship from Mitsubishi Chemical for placing runner-up in the 2023 Miss Sylvan Beach pageant. And there's more. We learned this afternoon that Schreiner University has additionally awarded Elizabeth a $21,000 scholarship to attend school there. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now it's time to honor our 23-24 Campus Teachers of the Year. Each year around February and March, staff members of LaPorte ISD select the Teacher of the Year. Honorees are chosen by their peers for their ability as skilled teachers and a love of teaching and learning, among several other characteristics. And we're going to begin this evening recognizing our elementary campus Teachers of the Year. And as Dr. Upchurch makes her way up here. Awesome. First, from Bayshore Elementary School, Emarisa Cervantes. College Park Elementary School Campus Teacher of the Year, Elizabeth Ulsh. From Heritage Elementary School, Sony Rodriguez Fernandez. Jenny Reed Elementary School Campus Teacher of the Year, Dion Williams. LaPorte Elementary Campus Teacher of the Year, Chelsea Garza. From Lomax Elementary School, Michael Newman. And finally, from Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary School, the Campus Teacher of the Year, Jennifer Vargas. Congratulations. Now we would like to recognize our secondary campus teachers of the year first. From James H. Baker 6th grade campus, Amy Lashley. LaPorte Junior High School. LaPorte Junior High School Campus Teacher of the Year, Jessica Ming. Lomax Junior High School Campus Teacher of the Year, Stephen Mabry. LaPorte High School Campus Teacher of the Year for Core Subjects, TJ Markowitz. LaPorte High School Campus Teacher of the Year for Non-Core Subjects, Ashley Stewart. From the Academy of Viola DeWalt High School, the Campus Teacher of the Year, Kristen Balistreri. And finally, from our secondary DAEP campus, Aldo Vidal. Did Ashley come stand right here? Right here. Because we got matching haircuts or what? Who's there to shine here? We'll have the shiny nugget come in. Here we go. The overexposure. Congratulations to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce you to Ms. Terry Cook. She is our Partners in Education Coordinator, and she has a couple of recognitions this evening.
Thank you, Adam. It's my pleasure to recognize two of our business partners in education tonight. South Region Driving School has continually demonstrated that a small business can make a huge impact on the community. Active members of the LaPorte Bayshore Chamber of Commerce, owners Thomas and Alicia Green, help our community and schools in as many ways as they can. When the Partners in Education program began again last October, the Greens were among the first companies to volunteer to partner with a campus. South Region Driving School currently serves as a partner in education with Lomax Junior High School. Alicia and Thomas also volunteer their time as mentors through the HELPS program, as well as the BAM, Becoming a Man program at LaPorte Junior High School. They are also active in the Campus Life programs at both LaPorte ISD Academy of Viola DeWalt High School and LaPorte High School. Additionally, South Region Driving School has worked with the Chamber and area businesses to provide scholarships for economically disadvantaged students to learn to drive. They have also worked with LaPorte ISD to provide scholarships for students to continue their education. All of this is in addition to being busy parents of 5, 3 LaPorte ISD graduates and 2 current LaPorte ISD students. We are very grateful to South Region Driving School and Alicia and Thomas Green for their dedication to our students and our community. Alicia and Thomas. And our next honoree tonight is Lubrizol. The Lubrizol-LaPorte Elementary Partnership is one of the longest partnerships in LaPorte ISD, dating back to at least 1999. While COVID restrictions got in the way for a bit, Lubrizol employees came back strong as soon as they could, and they are a valued part of the LaPorte Elementary team. 9 mentors from Lubrizol regularly meet with students at lunch, helping to encourage them and show them how much they care. In addition, Lubrizol helps with STEM Night. In October, they set up science experiments and demonstrations for students, and they inspired future engineers. In addition, the company sponsors Water Day at the campus and also provides personnel to help with setting up, taking down, and running the booths. Lubrizol's Christmas Angel program not only helps LaPorte Elementary families, but families from other schools in the district as well. Families apply and are selected based on need, and Santa delivers presents to their homes on a fire truck. For next year, Lubrizol employees plan to help with the watchdogs, assisting with arrival, dismissal, and lunch duty. Their plans also include providing volunteers to help guide and train students for programming and other tasks associated with robotics. Thank you to Lubrizol for being an outstanding partner in education for more than 20 years. And we have And we have Andrew Peterson, Joel Rios, and Ed Elzebak here with us tonight. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll go to item 8, public comments. The board will now hear those who wish to make comments and you have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Mr. Nobody. Okay. Board, without any further objection, I'd like to continue going out of order, but as of necessity, legal necessity, I guess. We'll go to item 9A, action and discussion items. A, consider and possibly adopt resolution number 2023-11, order canvassing returns and declaring results of May 6, 2023 bond election. And I do have something to read. The time is now 7:31 p.m. A tabulation of the votes cast has been prepared, and the results of the May 6, 2023 bond election will be read into the record. The results are the sum of early and election day voting for each proposition. Proposition A, for 1,414 votes received. Against, 399 votes received. Proposition B, for 1,412 votes received, total votes received. Against, 400 votes received. Proposition C, for 1,317 total votes received. Against, 485 votes received. The results of the election have been read into the record. Is there a motion to accept the results of the election held on May 6, 2023? Mr. Shoppy made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Murdoch seconded. Are there any questions or comments before we vote? I call for the vote. It is unanimous. Let the record reflect that the canvass results for the May 6, 2023 bond election have been approved and are official. A certificate of election has been prepared for the canvassing of the election, and a report of the precinct returns will be delivered to the Secretary of State as required by law at the conclusion of this meeting. Okay.
Can we clap for that?
Yes. Okay, we go to item 9B. Consider and possibly adopt resolution number 2023-12 of the Board of Trustees of LaPorte Independent School District expressing intent to finance expenditures to be incurred. Board, do we have any questions on that item? Okay, if none, seek a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Shoppy made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Thompson. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is unanimously passed. Thank you. Okay, now we'll go back to item 5, recognition. Chris Murdoch, if we please join at the front. Board, if y'all would come join with me to the front.
Well, I hope so. That's not yours. Oh, I don't know. As Chris Murdoch this evening concludes his term on the LaPorte ISD Board of Trustees, we would like to take a moment to express our sincere appreciation for his faithful service over the past 3 years. Throughout his time on the board, he has consistently put the needs of our students and staff first. He has been dedicated and committed to ensuring that our schools provide a safe and nurturing environment for all students. Chris's contributions to the board have been invaluable, and we are grateful for his leadership and guidance. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Walter Jackson, and the LaPorte Independent School District, we'd like to express our deepest gratitude for your contributions, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Okay, board, if y'all like to have any last comments or would like to wish to say a statement for Chris?
Chris, I'm gonna miss you when you're gone. I think you are one of the boldest people I know, and I appreciate all your work, your dedication, and your honesty as we work through issues on the board. I thought you did a great job.
Oldest means outspoken.
Bold is a good word.
Thank you, yes.
Bold is a good word.
I appreciate it.
Well, it'll be short and sweet. Our election was the longest campaign ever, the COVID election. It was a great election too. But it's gonna be fun. It was fun. It was a ball. I'm gonna miss you.
I appreciate your service and for answering questions that I had along the way.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service, sir. Stepping up.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate it, great deal. I've known Chris a long time. He used to come in as a regular guest at Grandos many moons ago. I've known him a very long time. Appreciate your service here.
Say that I have not enjoyed my experience over there.
Man, I echo that too, man. It's just been a pleasure getting to know you, and I love that each one of us has a different perspective, and yours was from a law enforcement perspective and working in the maintenance department, being an ex-member of the staff, so you brought a lot of valuable things to this board. I appreciate you and learning from you, and certainly wish you the best, and we appreciate your regular daytime job and all you do to keep us safe.
Absolutely safe.
And speaking of keeping safe, many of you may not remember, but this is probably the second time we've honored this man, because I think by 2012, you helped save the life of an individual. And so appreciate what you did for that individual, and also
I have that photograph.
yeah, and you had hair back then too.
I did have hair.
and appreciate your honesty, your commitment to the school district, to the students and staff, and appreciate everything. And also your sense of humor was always awesome. And so, but thank you so much, and wish you the best, and keep in touch. You know, don't be a stranger. Okay.
I'm not done here. So I made a decision that I wanted to promote at work. The promotion board was 2 days after the final, after I could file for the election again. I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional here sometimes. So I went through the board. It didn't happen. So Mason, whom I think is going to do an excellent job. He's wanted to be up here from the very get-go. I'm glad he got this position. If one of these positions ever comes up available again, I won't run against anybody here. That's something I don't want to do. You have a good board. He works good with our superintendent, who's an outstanding man. But if one of the positions come back open, I'm going to file to come back. It was not my intention to be one and done. It was an economics thing, and I wanted to promote. So with that, I hope I've helped do a good job here, and I hope everybody is somewhat happy. I can't please everybody all the time, but anyway, thank you all very much.
I want to get one last picture.
Hey, go get some of your things and take a picture with you.
Let me give everybody a hug.
Yeah.
Now you can roll them up.
That is.
I wouldn't let him take it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that shows that.
That's pretty.
Don't drop it. Yeah, no doubt.
Drop it to break your foot. No fun, I promise.
Okay, go up in the front. Let's go take a picture.
Turn my picture upside down?
No.
Everybody.
Oh, my.
That'd be a good one.
Does that mean out of service?
Shall we do 42? I'm going to, we'll go back there one of these days. If I'm lucky.
Okay, with that, we are going to go to item 6, the swearing-in ceremony for newly elected trustee. A oath of office will be administered by Candace Oliveris, Administrative Assistant. So Mason and Russell and Danny, y'all up to the front, and we'll kind of just step back over here. Are y'all ready?
Please raise your right hand and state the following. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of School Board Trustee
of the office of School Board Trustee
for the LaPorte Independent School District of the State of Texas,
for the LaPorte Independent School District of the State of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state.
the Constitution. Say that again.
They all graduated LaPorte.
Not really.
Too many long words.
The Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state.
The Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Hey, go sign first, go sign.
Y'all got a happy hour before this? It was a little lucky.
I'm trying to follow y'all. His eye. I saw your eyebrows. Hey, before we get in on the, can y'all log in?
I finally just pushed at the bottom where it said, go there anyway, and it'll be secure, and it let me.
Yeah, it's saying something about that.
But Eddie probably does need to look at this.
Yeah, see if they can get Eddie to come.
Yeah.
Is this all?
Right?
Okay, on that signing, I guess I had a script for this, but I'll go ahead and read it into the record. On March 7, 2023, the Board of Trustees declared each unopposed candidate elected to their respective office and canceled the May 6, 2023 general trustee election. A certificate of election shall be issued to each candidate in the same manner as provided for a candidate elected at the election. The newly elected and re-elected trustees will now sign, which they have now, their officer's statement, which will be retained with the official records of the board. The trustees have now completed their oath of office, which will be retained with the official records of the board. So, that was that one. Okay.
Yeah, mine did it too.
Okay.
I don't know if they all need
We're
security.
gonna do that. Okay. Board, like to go out of order again. If we will go to, item 11, administrative reports, A, superintendent's report. Dr. Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. President, and members of the board, and congratulations, Mason. Welcome, welcome. I'd like to just take this opportunity, members of the board, to introduce several new staff members to our family. And I'd like for you to join me in welcoming Mr. Jason Harvey. Jason, would you please stand? Let's give him a hand. Jason Harvey will be the LaPorte High School head band director. He was born and raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Mr. Jason Harvey has been in public education, teaching band for the last 25 years in Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas. Mr. Harvey is currently the director of bands at Pasadena Memorial High School in Pasadena, Texas, where he has taught for the last 13 years. Under his direction, the Pasadena Memorial High School Band program has been a consistent UIL Sweepstakes Award winner, UIL Marching Qualifier, 8-time class winner, and 3-time grand champion at the U.S. Band's Marching Contests, and 5-time grand champion of the McNeese State University Marching Band Contest. Mr. Harvey is also a visual judge for the percussion division of Winter Guard International. In addition to his adjudication role with WGI, he has judged for many regional circuits throughout the country. Mr. Harvey is the percussion judge administrator for the Texas Color Guard Circuit and the North Texas Color Guard Association, a role he has held for the past 10 seasons. Please join me one more time in welcoming Mr. Harvey. And I miss one last part that is important because people want to know, and there are people listening as well, Mr. Harvey. Mr. Harvey's education includes completing a Bachelor of Music degree in education from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga and a postgraduate work at the University of South Carolina as a graduate assistant. He holds memberships with the Texas Bandmasters Association, Texas Music Educators Association, and Texas Music Adjudicators Association. Again, welcome, Mr. Harvey, and if you have visitors or anyone you'd like to introduce, you may do so at this time. Well, welcome to the family. Next, board members, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Anthony Stevens. Anthony, would you stand? Give him a welcome. Mr. Anthony Stevens, an assistant coach at North Shore High School in the Galena Park Independent School District and a Nike Elite Youth League and Adidas 3-Stripe Select basketball coach, will be the LaPorte High School's next head basketball coach. Stevens comes to LaPorte with more than 10 years of coaching experience, including 4 years as a varsity assistant basketball coach at Spring Westfield High School, where he helped develop a top 25 program statewide. Since graduating from Sul Ross State University, where he was a member of the Division I Lobos basketball team, Mr. Stevens was also a graduate assistant coach at Sul Ross and a varsity assistant basketball coach at Oak Ridge High School in Conroe ISD. Among some of the players Mr. Stevens has coached through the years are Greg Brown at the University of Texas and Portland Trail Blazers, Damari Williams, who starred for the Oral Roberts University this past season after transferring from Arizona State, and the Houston Cougars star Terrence Arsenault. Mr. Stevens is a well-respected and connected member of the Houston basketball community, particularly as a coach and co-director of player development for the John Lucas Enterprises. Lucas, who is an assistant coach, excuse me, I've got to turn the page, for the Houston Rockets, spent many years in the NBA. We know Mr. John Lucas as a player and a coach. Coach Stevens will bring next-level professionalism and experience to LaPorte ISD and our LaPorte basketball program. Please join me again in welcoming Coach Anthony Stevens to LaPorte ISD. Coach, did you have anybody you'd like to introduce or anything you'd like to say to the board?
No, sir, I'm excited to be here. Very excited.
Very excited to have you.
Good job. We look forward to working with you, all right? Last but not least, Miss Rachel Spector McAdam. Please stand. Let's give her a hand and welcome her. We're excited to welcome Miss Rachel Spector McAdam to LaPorte ISD. She comes to us from Texas City ISD, where she serves as an elementary principal. Prior to her 8 years of service as a principal, she served as an elementary and junior high assistant principal in Goose Creek Consolidated ISD. Additionally, she served as a lead special education teacher in Clear Creek ISD and department chair, dyslexia coordinator, and special education teacher in Smithville ISD. Ms. McAdams holds a Bachelor's of Science degree from Texas A&M University. I didn't hear a whoop in the house. And a master's degree in educational leadership from Lamar University. She holds her superintendent certification and her principal certification. Additionally, she holds her teaching certification in EC through 8 generalist, special education, gifted and talented, and ESL. Ms. McAdam has a background in special education, dyslexia, and reading intervention. She's very excited for the opportunity to join LaPorte ISD. And please join me one more time in welcoming her. Rachel, do you have anybody you'd like to introduce?
I do have a couple of people to introduce to my personal family, to my LaPorte family. So this is my husband, Philip McAdam. He is also a teacher in high school. And this is my little one, Edith. And he's in kindergarten. And this is my big one, Eli, and he is in 8th grade. So. I'm very excited to return back to junior high and to be part of the LaPorte family. So thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to serving you.
We're looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to item B of administrative reports, summer school update.
So I wanted just to quickly, in your folder, you have a manila folder. And before we talk about the other things, let me go over the summer school information. So I wanted to give you the dates of summer school, and so you can see there, when we were looking at elementary, we have grades K-5. It will start June 12th through June 29th. Location will be at LPE and CPE this summer. We have secondary, which is grades 6 through 8, promotional June 12th through June 29th, and the location will be at LPJ. We have high school. There's 2 programs in high school. We have our EOC, which is our end of course program. That will start June 7th through June 22nd, because the last week of June is our EOC retester. So they will retest take the retest test the end of June. And finally, for the high school, we have our credit recovery sessions. We have 2 sessions in the summer for our high school. This is both academy and the big high school. On the right-hand side, the enrichment programs currently available. We have the Fine Arts Summer Program. That is grades 2 to 5 at Heritage, and that's June 12th through June 15th. We have the GT Camp, which is Camp Creativity at HRE, Heritage, June 5th through 8th. We have STEM Camp with Camp Invention, grades 1 through 5 at Baker, July 10th through the 14th. And we also have a STEM Camp with Galveston Bay, grades 6 through 8, and that location is at LP Junior High School. In addition, you'll see on the right-hand side, as always, we have our athletic summer training camps. That will happen starting May 30th all the way up to June 30th. Locations will be our big high school as well as LPJ and Little Max J. And the last one that I did not include there is our ESY program, our special ed program. That's for all grade levels. That will happen on June 12th to June 29th, and it also will be at LPE. Any questions? And the good news is we are fully staffed for summer school. So we have all our summer school teachers. We are super excited. Our teachers, I know they are working really hard during the school year, but they have stepped up and are going to teach this summer for us also. So we are fully staffed in all grade levels for summer school at this time. So we are super excited about that.
I have one question. With regards to the enrichment programs, are there any like assistance programs for students who maybe aren't financially able to participate in some of these programs? Because they're amazing programs. I've looked through all of them, but some of them are a little steep.
Good question. What I've told the sponsors of each of these programs is if we have parents and students who cannot afford it, the district will help ensure that these students are participating in the programs. And we'll make sure our principals know so they can share with their parents also.
Thank you.
And all of these programs are on the website currently right now.
And for the elementary and secondary, is that besides just students failing classes, but also failing STAR tests?
Yes, sir, it's both. So when we say promotional, really, and remember, because of STAR scores not returning until the raw scores returning the end of May, it's almost like we're probably gonna look at MAP. We're gonna use MAP data. We're also gonna look at that zone of uncertainty that they tell us that will come, and we'll get students out of there also for summer school.
Is that why the June 12th date to kind of give enough because of maybe last year with the waiting on the scores and being some confusion?
We're hoping that will help. It's also for transportation and bus also, but yes, hopefully because we start a little later, we're able to pull more students in.
Okay.
Any other questions with summer school? We're super excited again. We're just very thankful for our teachers for stepping up, and we are all fully ready to go. Teachers are ready to go and teach in summer school. We have our curriculum, so our curriculum department with Ms. Abrams, she is working with our instructional coaches, so it will be curriculum that teachers will have in place, so they're ready to go with summer school for elementary, middle, and for our EOC.
And where can I find the flyers about the enrichment programs? You said they're on the website.
They should, when you click on the website, you should get to links that goes to each one of these enrichments, but I can check, but I thought we had it on there, but let me look again and see.
They're probably there, I just don't know where they are.
But it should be on there.
I'm scrolling as well.
It's under parents, summer learning.
It's under parents, okay.
Yeah, and then it'll say summer learning, and you'll see the tabs for each one.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
And I think
There we go.
Adam has it on the front page too.
It is, it's right. Oh, it is right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Board, do you have any further questions?
Ready to go. So we meet with everyone every week just to make sure we finalize everything so summer school's ready to go.
Thank you, Dr. Brown.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay up here for the second part.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and log in.
And that is mental health behavior management discussion.
We are prioritizing this month mental health, and we wanted to share with you, and Ms. Jancy Alfaro, the coordinator of social emotional learning, will come up, and she will share with you in further detail. Last month, she shared a little bit in terms of the mental health support that we have. We wanted to make sure that we have everything in place with data for you to see in terms of the work that we do with mental health and supporting our parents, our teachers, and our students. So Ms. Jancy.
How are you guys doing tonight? Good. It's my pleasure to come back and highlight our mental health supports and programs that we have for the district. And it's a great time to do so because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I don't know if they picked May because it's perhaps the end of school and it just correlates with stress. I don't know, but it really is a wonderful time to kind of share our programs and everything that we're doing for LaPorte ISD. We wanted to start with just beginning beginning with who are our mental health staff, kind of where we are with our program and our team. First, we have our counselors. Our counselors are master's degrees in school counseling. We also have our licensed school psychologists as well, our CYS and our CIS, who are trained in mental health and behavior supports. We do have a wonderful counseling team in this district. I am blessed to be a part of the counselors that we have. We have 17 school counselors, 1 at each school and 5 at the high school. We also have our district crisis counselor who's housed at the high school this year. Last time I was presented at the board, we talked about adding some positions for our team. So building our team and building the supports that we have. We talked about adding 5 communities in school professionals, 1 at Baker and the other at the elementary. So we're really excited about that. We also the board brought up some issues or positions regarding clerical help for our elementary counselors. I did meet with our elementary counselors and we discussed what specific clerical help do you need? What are those issues that you're facing? And a lot of it was data. They talked about going and entering in data into Success Ed, scheduling meetings, RTI meetings, 504 meetings, and having hundreds of these each year that they were responsible for. So after really delving into exactly what they needed help with, and a lot of that was data, I brought that information back to Dr. Jackson and Dr. Brown, where we discussed adding 2 clerks, counseling clerks for our counselors for the next year. We talked about they felt having at least 1 person on their campus a day designated for that data to really alleviate just the input, because they're not in front of their kids and they weren't out where they needed to be doing the lessons and things that I'll describe later. So we are appreciative to be able to offer that, and when I was able to explain that we were doing that, it was overwhelming. Yay! So they are very excited about that next year. I did talk about us adding our student support counselor for our DAEP. We do have substance abuse issues, reoccurring substance abuse issues, and it's not just us, it's all over the state of Texas, especially with vaping and access to drugs on campus. It's a problem, and so we want to have 1 designated person who really just serves those students and treats those students and really works with their parents in that as well. So we're excited to expand our team, and we appreciate you guys helping us expand our team as well too. Some of the supports that the counselors are responsible for, we really have a framework of 4 components. So the state of Texas, it says you need to meet these 4 components, and we need to make sure that they're able to do that. The first is to provide a guidance counseling for the students. Next is to provide responsive services, so when issues come up that we're able to address those, whether it be personal, educational, whatever the issues arise, that we're able to address those and help them. Individual planning with careers, social, personal, preparing them for post-secondary even when they're in elementary, middle school, and high school, and then system support, so referring them and helping them with programs and access. We also have our licensed school psychologists who provide academic and behavior interventions. They also help with our mental health supports, evaluations for learning and emotional disabilities, consultation for parents, teachers, and counselors, our assistance with our crisis prevention, and they help with our struggling learners, students as well.
And how many of those do we have?
We have 9 LSSPs that are shared throughout the district.
Okay.
In addition to that, we also have our community youth services, and those are staff members that help with our basic needs, mental health, behavior, consultation. They're like a social worker for us. Communities in school, we have some here tonight. Academic support, health and human services, supportive guidance, enrichment, family engagement, college and career awareness, and referrals as well. So both of them are a great asset to our team. The tier support follows just like academics for mental health. We follow the same support system. So tier 1 is every single solitary student receives it. And as we move up the pyramid, that's where we need to look at problem solving, and we communicate with the parents to find plans and interventions for those kids. So it gets specific as we move up the tiers. Tier 1 support is our district school-wide mental health awareness. So each year, at the beginning of the school year, the counselors who are trained in mental health first aid, we present that to our staff. So our staff receives that training at the beginning of the school year. We talk about things to look at as far as referring kids or intervention or social things, social skills or social issues that you may see in the classroom. We talk about our character, a strong curriculum. We do trauma-informed practices, child abuse prevention, bullying, suicide, and other presentations that we do throughout the year for our staff. As well as our curriculum. Right now, our adopted curriculum is Character Strong. So at the elementary, it's called Purposeful People. So hopefully you've all seen Purposeful People if you had elementary little ones. And then Character Strong at the secondary. Next year, we're going to adopt a second step program that's just for bullying. And we're excited about that because we feel like we really need to address some issues with bullying, very specific laid out plan for that. And then our monthly character traits, which are K through 12. Our tier 2 support, so we're going up the pyramid, small group counseling, check-in, check-out system, our academic interventions, homeschool communication, intervention strategies, behavior management, and our referral system. And then tier 3 is the highest level of supports that we have. So that's going to be individualized supports for specific students, individual counseling, group counseling, functional behavior assessment, crisis intervention and counseling. We do wrap around our services for students, our T-Chat program, Clear Hope, and our school counselors. So I want to go into a little specific, each one of the data for each of our programs that we have, because sometimes we don't get to see the whole picture. So I feel like data is a great way to see kind of how much are the resources really impacting our students. So our Bakota program, some of the aspects that they do are our National Red Ribbon campaign, our vape education. They help us with our parent night. They did a vaping presentation for us at the high school. And they also have helped us with a brand new clothing closet that we have at the high school. So that's new. They have clothes and supplies and all kinds of things for our high school students. You do have the Bakota brochure because they sent me a fabulous brochure. They are here in the audience, and it was so small you couldn't see it on the PowerPoint. So I thought, you know what, I'll give you the brochure so you can see the specifics. That they have served 3,127 of our youth and 318 adults. So just data-wise, there's a big resource to our community. Also, our communities in school as well. You can see that our communities in school, they're here as well in our audience, that they provide us with our academic supports, health and human services. So those are like the basic needs that they have. They have our support. They do supportive guidance, enrichment activities, family and engagement conferences, college and career as well. And on the left-hand side, you can see each of the supports and how much of the supports they provide for our students. And then as far as their program goals, they met over their program goals. So they had a total of 260 participants, and they had a total contact hour of 3,630. So the hours that they're spending as well are touching and addressing a lot of the needs of our students. And remember, this is one of the programs that we're looking to expand next year. We also offer our Clear Hope Counseling. Our Clear Hope Counseling serves over 500 of our students. These are students whose parents cannot afford counseling. So there's an economic barrier to counseling, a mental health need they have, and they also are able to receive the counseling at the school. So we break that barrier of trying to get them to the therapy as well. And so right now they serve over 500 of our students through the Clear Hope Counseling process, where they send 9 licensed counselors to our district to see our kids. Also, we have T-Chat. T-Chat has been in a couple of years that we've had T-Chat. That is a free service that we want to share and get out more. It's through your school counselor can refer any student. There is no financial need. It is telehealth because it's through the state of Texas. So what you do is the counselor can refer you to T-Chat, and the student actually can have therapy at school on the computer through a telehealth appointment. And so it's usually scheduled once a week. They did offer a team where they have now a psychiatrist through the T-Chat program. So if you have a student who has, you feel like they may have ADHD or there's something else, then they can also prescribe medicines and help with that assessment as well, because sometimes parents, don't have the opportunity to do that. So T-Chat is free. It is through the state of Texas school districts. Every district can participate in the T-Chat program. They'll also next year add an adolescent substance abuse program too, because they're seeing substance abuse as an issue. Just some additional ones that I really want to spotlight, and so thankful to this community, because our Bay Area Assistance League, they offer the clothing vouchers for our school. So this is something we do not just at Christmas time, it's all year long. And so they've given our district over $30,000 worth of new school clothes for kids. This is twice as much money as they spent last year, and they're still giving money to our kids. So if you have a student, or you know of a student, or you're a teacher, we need to get that to the counselor, because the counselors are still referring kids. It doesn't matter that it's May. And so what a blessing to have them. It has been, they've impacted me just seeing the things that they're doing. They've also added a program that they asked me if I wanted to be a participant of. I thought this was funny. Do you want to have a snack program where you give snacks to go for elementary kids? And I'm like, yes, we do. And so we piloted, they were able to offer it to 2 schools, and so LaPorte Elementary and Bayshore, monthly they deliver non-perishable snacks for kids to take. They can take home, they can take over the weekend. It doesn't go, they can have them anytime. And so they said that they would help us to do more elementaries next year. We've also added the program. We're trying to get more consistent for DeWalt, but we've added it to DeWalt a few times. We were able to take additional snacks that they had. We have 2 clothing closets, one at LaPorte High School and one at LaPorte Junior, that's available to our students as well. And then of course our after-school care program through Communities in School. Right now our after-school program is at LaPorte Elementary and Bayshore, and you can see that they also met their goals, serving about 100 kids each. One of the things I do want to say is that we have a lot of programs. I really want to get the word out about all the resources and things that we have. So I'm hoping to be able to expand that and come back to you guys again and talk to you more about it, maybe at the beginning of the school year when we're doing more programs. But some resources that we have for parents, we do have a great mentoring program that I'm a part of, and it's wonderful for our students. We have free school supplies. We also are a part of One Pill Can Kill, which is a drug coalition with Pasadena, Galena Park, and Deer Park, where we have parent programs. They've done their first parent program, and it was a phenomenal. LaPorte parents did come out. I think we had over 25 LaPorte parents attend. Dr. Bromley, Ms. Viatar were able to attend as well, but just impactful. Left there just with more knowledge of that information. And then of course I put pictures of our staff, because the people in the audience, our counselors and our Bakota people and our Communities in School who are here, I hope they stand up. I know they don't want to, but if you want to stand up, you can. Go ahead, stand up. Yeah. I just want to say that, the staff here is our biggest resource to parents, and that we are so grateful to be a part of this, but we're more grateful that you guys support us and that you guys are allowing us to grow and help students as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Questions?
Okay, you mentioned adding to counseling clerks.
Yes,
Where are
ma'am.
those clerks going to be housed?
Well, they would rotate, so they would be, we would have them at the elementary school, and we have not decided exactly what campus each one would go to, but they would be housed at the elementary school. So we would take the 2 positions and have those counselors clerks were there at least there 1 day a week on those elementary campuses. We are still working through that plan with the principals.
Okay.
And the counselors, asking really for their feedback as well.
So really, the counselor that's stationed at that elementary school is gonna get help 1 day a week, is your vision? for
Yes,
that?
ma'am, yes, ma'am.
It's probably at least 2 days a week, because there's 2 counselors, there's gonna be 2 clerks, we've got 7 campuses, so they'll probably be able to rotate at least twice a week in each of the campuses.
Okay.
Is that
And-
only, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is that only for elementary schools? Do the high school and junior highs already have an assistant to help?
They don't have
They already
assistants,
have
but they have.
clerks, excuse me, okay.
Yes, yes.
And what we realized, talking to Jancy and the counselors, is our identification of students happens in the elementary. So a lot of that RCI process identification happens when they're in the primary grades. So that's why our counselors have a lot of data that they input into that.
And the substance abuse, the additional substance abuse counselor,
Yes,
where
ma'am.
did you say they were gonna be housed?
At the DAP.
Awesome.
So we'll have one dedicated there. We also have a second one that is right now posted, and that person will also be across the campuses. But we know that DAP, we have an influx of our students repeating coming to DAP due to substance abuse. So we want to make sure we have a dedicated person there to counsel those students.
Okay.
Who's like a licensed substance abuse counselor. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think is the biggest hurdle in communicating? I mean, we have a breadth of resources here for parents. What do you think is the biggest hurdle in communicating these resources to our parents?
I think just getting the word out to parents and make sure that we are advocating our programs for our district. You know, sometimes we're in isolation, so a lot of times maybe the high school doesn't know what the elementary offers and the elementary doesn't know what the high school offers. This year, I made a significant, I believe, impact on the counselors because we have our CIS and Big Coda and our CYS staff. They're in every single counselor meeting that we have. So we get to communicate and they get to tell us what resources they have so we can partner together because that's how we learn and grow. When their programs are, they're offering something different, if we were separated, we wouldn't know that. So during our monthly meetings, that has been an intentional training that we've done so we can learn from each other. And that's helped us all learn about all the programs that are offered in LaPorte.
Okay, awesome.
I thought, it's not gonna be bad, I swear. The looks he gave me.
It was just a noise.
So every time I bring a question, everybody kind of assumes that my wife or somebody, you know, at Bayshore or whoever, but my wife, I want y'all to know, like, she doesn't tell me anything because she's afraid I will say something. But the one thing, literally, she's like, I can't get anything out of her. But the one thing that she has talked to me repetitively this year is she's so happy that they hired you, and she's like,
oh my gosh.
she compliments you in the job you're doing with the counselors. She said it's just been a huge breath of fresh air. So I want to say publicly thank you for the job you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have one more thing. It's more of a comment, not a question, but I think having all these additional resources at the campuses helps because our counselors are, I don't want to say bogged down, but they are bogged down by having to worry about schedule planning and getting the students ready to go to middle school or high school or get out of high school, that they don't get to do what they love. I mean, they have a master's degree in counseling and they're being schedule planners to an extent, and they're way more than that. So hopefully we can continue to work on that barrier. It's important. Yeah.
So I wanted to give you, in conclusion, an update on our discipline management plan. So we promised you that we will be working on ensuring that by August, when teachers return, there will be a discipline management plan in place. We hear our teachers, we hear our administrators, and we will ensure that this will be in place. But I wanted to give you the 4 priority areas because this will be planning that happens this summer, in the next couple of months. But our 4 priority areas within our discipline plan is, the first and foremost is positive student outcomes. So we want to ensure everything in terms of what we do is positive student outcomes. One is the safety of students and our teachers. Two is creating a conducive environment for learning. Everywhere they go, learning is the key. Teaching students skills for successful interaction in the classroom and also outside the classroom. And finally, reducing the rates of future misbehavior. And so we're doing that with, again, the goal is proactive model. We want to ensure instead of being reactive in terms of what discipline management is being proactive in how we are going to deal with our issues or our challenges in our classrooms. One of our goals is we want to emphasize a classroom management and behavior plan that is evidence-based techniques. So we want to have conflict resolution, we want to ensure de-escalation techniques. These are things that we want to not only have skills in, but also be able to prepare our teachers in as they start back in the new year. The second goal is providing the staff training, and that includes a positive behavior of interventions and supports. Again, I want to stress positive behavior, proactive model. The third piece is tier-based support, as Jancy has shared with you, our tier 1, 2, 3. In terms of a student being successful in the classroom academically, we understand that that coincides with social emotional, how well the student is doing. And so we want to ensure that our tier support that Jancy shared is just as equally important in our schools. Establishing clear, consistent expectations. One of the things that we want to ensure that's happening in all our schools, from elementary, middle, and high school, is clear expectations on LaPorte. What is a graduate of LaPorte looks like? And that's in our, that is our core belief, our North Star on what we do every day. And we want to ensure that that starts with our pre-K babies when they start with us, all the way up to 13 years in our schools. And finally, that communication piece, the partnership with our parents is crucial. And so we understand as administrators, our principals and our assistant principals and our counselors, we have to work with our parents, our community, in order to ensure this positive model. But we reassure you that this will be the planning and the priority as we move into June and July, that by the time we return in end of July and August, the plan will be in place, and I'll come back again with you and share with you the plan. Questions?
Any questions?
I appreciate you guys following up on this, and I certainly believe that it's the right approach to equip the teachers to better handle these situations, but it's part of the solution going to be to, I guess, at least look into identifying additional resource. It's one thing to equip the teachers, but when you're overwhelmed with X amount of students, and we discussed last meeting that every day that more and more are identified with special designations, right? And the more populated class, you know, there's more of those kids that could be disruptive, if you will. I really like to see something like how are we addressing those needs for additional resources? I know it's cost. I know I like the CIS, how we hired additional of those. Was it 2 or 3? 2?
Actually 6.
6? We approved 6?
So
we have 6. We approved 2 last time, right?
We approved even 6 more only because, remember,
that's awesome.
the price of $25,000 is all we have to pay.
Right.
And
So that's what I mean. That's music to my ears. That's my love language. I would love to see us do even more, because if that's the answer, we can get our most bang for our buck and something like that. Again, I'm not knocking. I love that you guys are equipping the teachers. I'm never going to be against that, but they need more help. And so I love that you guys are addressing this and they brought it back up, but I'll say me personally, I had several employees reach out from the last meeting and said, hey, we appreciate you guys even talking about this on the board level, because it is a problem in our classroom every single day. And so, again, we talk about everybody's burnout for all these different reasons, and I know it's a money thing, but if we can help them get additional resource, that is what I would love to hear the solution or how we're going to address that.
so I can reassure you, all of our principals met with HR, with their staff, and with Stacy. And so as we talk about students, individual students and their special needs, we also do that with our campuses. So we know that each campuses have different programs. Some have more members in that program than others. So with that being said, we are being specific and as well as adding additional staffing to certain campuses that we know need that extra staff. So we hear them, we hear the schools. We are working to ensure that schools are given what they need based on what they have.
Dr. Brown. on that fourth pillar, I guess, or roads, I'm assuming you're already starting to look at the student code of conduct and what that's going to look like. Would that be presented to the board at some point? Is that in August?
Yes.
Okay.
We are currently.
But I don't anticipate the
Right.
student code of conduct having to change because we're offering
Right.
supports and tiers.
Okay.
And we are currently working on our student handbook, so I know that our executive directors are working with committees to get that in a good place, and then we're working on our code of conduct. So all that will be shared with you in terms with the discipline plan.
While y'all are taking up this issue, I definitely would hope and challenge everybody that no option be left off the table. At least give us the opportunity to discuss it and debate and find out if there's something that, we need to find resources to make it happen. But I don't want us to dismiss anything that may benefit in the classroom. And so if there's something that we can look at, discuss, please don't hesitate to bring that to us so we can take it. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I feel like there's a very strong sentiment that we want to shore up the classroom behavior and put this disruptive behavior to bed one way or another. So if there's anything, please don't shy away from bringing it to us for us to discuss.
And that's probably one of the reasons. I know we have brought this up a couple of board meetings already. That's the reason why we really haven't made a decision on the plan, because we want to be very intentional as well as what's best for LaPorte and our students. Not everything works. We can say we can do CHAMPS, we can do PBIS, but we want to ensure what we utilize here fits LaPorte students in our community. So that's why we're being very intentional in this planning piece. But yes, thank you for that support.
Okay, one last thing. So, we rolled out the mentorship programs and stuff this year. We had a big push for people helping out and stuff. Do we, have we seen a direct correlation with having some of those mentors in the schools with some of our, I would say, at-risk students or whatever? Have we noticed a change in some of those behavioral situations? Are we measuring that data somehow to see how the mentorship programs are working? Because, again, we used to have programs like PALS and previously Partners in Education, all of these resources that we went away, and we're adding some of them back in. So are we measuring that to see, okay, if we're seeing the success, we keep adding that kind of thing?
Good question. We want to measure what we've done currently with the mentor. A lot of our mentors currently right now in the elementary, we are looking at mentorship for our high school students, because what we also notice is as we are getting closer to graduation, we also notice the at-risk students who are they going to graduate, walk across that stage in a few weeks. So what we have realized is there needs to be a dedicated mentor program for our junior high and high school students in terms of academy students, but not just academy, but students that we do not want to fall in the cracks in terms of we want them to walk across that stage. We know they need a diploma. It is our duty to make sure they get a diploma, and so the mentorship needs to be part of that. But yes, what we're going to do is after this year is look at the data for our elementary and the mentorship that we have with the students now, see how well that helps in terms of the discipline as well as a positive outlook of school and being in school. And again, we want to roll that into our higher babies up here, because they need mentorship as much as our elementary kids do.
Thank you.
One comment you hear in the community all the time, and it's no fault to our administration, especially the principals, but the lack of consistency on punishments, whether it's a freshman that gets caught with a vape in the bathroom, or if they're a senior, they're getting two different punishments. Punishment's probably not the right word, but they are. And that's the biggest complaint. It's not fair to the student. It's not fair to the teacher. It's not fair to the principals. And especially if different elementary schools do different things, well, they may not be communicating. So the consistency is the only thing that people complain about.
Right. We realize there is inconsistency. So part of the code of conduct is ensuring there's a flow chart that, again, the training we're creating a principal academy at the beginning of the year as well as an AP academy. All those pieces will be part of that flow chart in terms of what happens if a kid is vaping, what happens if a kid is disrupting, what are the steps for a teacher, for administrator to follow. So we will have a flow chart in terms of ensuring that everyone is doing it in the right way.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for tackling this.
Thank you.
lately.
We're going to go to item 10, consent agenda. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items. B, approve board meeting minutes. Number 1, regular board meeting minutes, April 7th, 2023. C, receive principals reports. Number 1, Early Childhood Center. 2, Bayshore Elementary. 3, College Park Elementary. 4, Heritage Elementary. 5, Jenny Reed Elementary. 6, LaPorte Elementary. 7, Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary. 8, Lomax Elementary. 9, James H. Baker 6th grade campus. 10, LaPorte Junior High. 11, Lomax Junior High. 12, LaPorte High School. 13, Ville DeWalt High School. D, receive financial reports for April 2023. E, receive human resources report. F, approve budget amendment. G, notice of employment of professional staff. H, approve 2023-2024 High Point interlocal contract. I, approve change order for Rush Bus Centers for the purchase of school bus maintenance and repair services for the remainder of the 2022-2023 school year.
I'd like to pull that, please.
Okay. J, approve change order for Thomas Bus Gulf Coast for the purchase of school bus maintenance and repair service for the remainder 2022-2023 school year.
We can pull that too.
Okay.
Sorry.
K, approve let me start again. K, approve instructional materials allotment, IMA, expenditure and purchase for social studies weekly K-5.
Pull, please.
Okay. L, approve lease/purchase proposal for multifunction copier equipment and service. M, approve proposal for construction manager at risk, CMAR, for 2023 bond projects. N, approve purchase of classroom technology equipment. Like that pulled, please. O, approve purchase of laptop carts. P, approve purchase of laptops for staff.
Hold on for me, please.
Okay. Q, approve purchase of laptops for students. I like that pull, please. R, approve purchase of school buses for transportation department. S, approve purchase of sound and projection systems installation services. I like that pull, please. T, approve resale of tax foreclosure property described as Lot 17 and Block 73 of the town of Bayview, in addition in Harris County, Texas, according to the map or plat thereof, filled in the real property of Harris County, Texas, account number 006-249-000-0017.
I'd like to pull that, please.
Okay. U, approve term, probationary, and non-certified contract recommendations for certified teachers, admin, and professionals in pay grades 1 through 5. Okay, Mr. Shoppy, if you mind reading back the consent agenda.
A, B, C 1 through 13, D, E, F, G, H, L, M, O, R, and U.
Okay. Board, I'd like to seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Thompson made a motion.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Hanks. Call for the vote. Are you not voting?
I did.
Oh, sorry. Okay, it is unanimous. Okay. Approved. So with that, we'll go to item 10I. Approve change order for Rush Bus Centers for the purchase of school bus maintenance and repair services for the remainder of the 2022-2023 school year. Mr. Hanks.
This may answer I and J. I'm assuming, I just wanted to know what the reason for the change order, what changed, and what is the term on it? Like how long? Is this just for until like May, like a month?
So with the ending of the fiscal year, we had money left over in our third-party company that travels our kids to High Point and JJAP. So we moved over because we have some buses that need some computer-type work. So these vendors provide that. So it's just simply till the end of the
Let's
fiscal
move it up, okay.
Yep.
That is what I needed.
Okay, board, any further questions? Okay, seek a motion for item I.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Hanks made a motion, seconded by Mr. Shafi. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is approved unanimous. We'll go to item J, approve change order for Thomas Bus Gulf Coast for the purchase of school bus maintenance and repair service for the remainder 2022-2023 school year. Ms. Hanks, do you have any further?
That was it.
Okay, board, any further questions? If not, seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Thompson made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Crutcher. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is unanimously approved. We'll go to item 10K. Approve instructional materials allotment, IMA, expenditure and purchase for Social Studies Weekly K-5. Mr. Hanks.
I just wanted to verify, this is a continuing of, it's the same curriculum, it's the same content, nothing's changed in the content, it's just to get us 2 more years, correct?
Correct. So the State Board of Education had told us last year that they would do a social studies adoption in 2026. They have taken it off the table and have not given us a date of when that adoption will happen. So we're just hoping to do a 2-year contract right now with the same curriculum and waiting to see when that adoption will happen.
Okay, I just want to make sure, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, board, any further questions? Okay, if not, seek a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Hanks made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Thompson. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is unanimously approved. Okay, go to item N, approve purchase of classroom technology equipment. And let me, I got all my, off my screen here, I'm sorry.
Come on up, Eddie.
Yeah.
Come on, join us.
Can you just, and this may kind of lead into some of the other items for tonight with the student laptops and the student and the staff laptops as well. What kind of classroom technology are we kind of really talking about? Can you describe a little bit of the, I guess, the features of the computers for the teachers that we're looking at? Is it going to be kind of like, as far as the docking, the projection board in the classroom? Is it touch screen, things like that? Some of the features that necessarily can't get off the order thing.
So we're calling it, just internally, we're calling it the untethered classroom. And the idea is for the teacher to be mobile, to have all of the access to video and sound that they need as they walk around the room with their laptop, while simultaneously providing them a place where they can sit down when they need to do their grades or write. So a lot of school districts have gone to where they're purchasing desktops for teachers to work at and then laptops to move around the room in. And that has problems as well because you've got 2 different systems. And so what the goal was is to provide them a single device that would meet all of their needs. So the laptop itself specifically, it's a smaller size. It's larger than the student devices and smaller than the current batch of laptops that we have for the teachers. So it's still mobile. What we also did though with the configuration on this device was we upgraded the processor and the RAM and the hard drive space. So it's actually a very beefy laptop.
So it's something I can dock and I can project on in front of the classroom?
So also this has with it an 11-port docking station. And the docking station will stay connected to a monitor, a 27-inch monitor for mature eyes.
You're hurting my feelings right now.
Mine too. and wireless keyboard and mouse, document cameras, all of the peripherals that teachers have can be hooked up to that device. And when they're ready to dock, all they have to do, there's a single plug that plugs into the laptop. So it takes a couple of seconds, it connects with all of those devices, and I guess we've been running, 2 months now, demo over at Baker, and we did another setup at high school and then one at an elementary campus. And it's pretty easy to manage because that one cord is all they have to hook up. And when they're ready to walk around, they just release and then walk off. The cord also charges the device when you plug it in.
Right. Okay.
As soon as it connects, it lights up the projector, right? They also have a microphone that they can walk throughout the room because the sound's connected.
It's similar. It's many of the features are similar to what we already have. We're sort of bringing those parts of the campuses that weren't updated with construction up to the same standard, and then we're going to upgrade the existing campuses to go along with the new
Because I think
standard.
now they got those touch screen now that you don't even have to use a pen or anything to write and things like that. Is that something we'll be going to maybe, or?
Well, that's one of the areas we struggle with, because if you're going to be mobile, then the interactivity became really difficult to set up. The only way to really have that is to have a dedicated workstation and then a separate laptop. So the laptop itself is also a touch screen, and we're providing a pen with it as well, so they're going to get the mobility and the ability to write on the laptop like they would the screen. Not quite the same. Additionally, in terms of the students writing on the board, the software that we have for classroom management will allow the teacher to pass control to the students so they can do the same thing with their laptops, because their laptops are also touchscreens.
Okay.
So the whiteboards that we installed several years ago, I remember going to, I think it was Jenny Reed, and a teacher did a demonstration for us on those. And I want to say that she could touch things on the whiteboard and move things, or, do a math problem or show things on a map or whatever. So those are still there and in function. Will they work in conjunction with this new technology?
No, ma'am. This will be just a different setup than that.
Okay.
But they won't be obsolete, though. No, sir.
Okay. What type of training? Well, I guess we're working about purchasing right now, but I'm worried about, are we going to make sure people know how to use all these things?
Well, when we bought the interactive whiteboards, and that was 12 years ago that we put those in.
Wow.
A lot of people didn't, that was new at that time. Now, interactive whiteboards were not new. Those had been around for a while, but the virtual interactive whiteboards were new. And it took us several years to get the staff trained and engaged, and now they got to the point where they can't live without it, so it's time to change it, of course. So it's going to be, some teachers are not going to be completely happy starting off, but we'll show them the advantages of the new system, and we'll get them trained, we'll give them the resources that they need, and we'll make them happy.
Okay.
And this is coming out of the bond from the 2014 funds or the 2023?
Future bonds.
Okay, so I guess my question is, I think there's a 30-day. So once sell bonds, I'm sure there's a process and all that. By the time you can fund that, for y'all.
So with the reimbursement.
The reimbursement?
Allows us to fund that now.
Okay.
And the proceeds of the bond sale, we can reimburse ourselves. That's part of that.
Okay. And so I guess the timeline is to hopefully have all this, or I guess installing like before teachers go in the classroom in August, or it's probably going to be a little later?
No, we want to try. We're going to try to do it this summer.
Okay.
So we've got a gentleman that'll do all the work for putting the hardware in, and then a lot of the setup that is involved with it. And then there's, right when school starts, there's going to be kind of a mad dash where we try to get all of it together and help the teachers to use it.
And if I can just lean in on that, is when teachers return for staff development, part of the work that we do in the teaching and learning division is to ensure that the lesson planning that they're doing involves using the technology in the classroom. So that will be part of the training that the teachers get when they return in August, but we're also going to utilize it in July. So we're going to start PD mid-July as for any teachers who want to participate, but that will be part of the training.
Okay. And I think this is laid down as far as the installation, all that, and I guess y'all gonna be doing when the teacher go in and say, wait a minute, it's not working, or wherever, y'all gonna be doing the helps and the fixes and all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm also getting additional summer help.
Okay.
This summer, so that my normal crew will have additional people to help them with, the plugging and the unplugging and the unpacking and a lot of the more, common tasks that we just need hands for.
Right. Okay. Okay, I appreciate it. I'll still have a few more questions further down, so don't go too far. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with that, seek a motion on N if there's no further questions. Mr. Sharpie, man, motion.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Hanks. Discussion? Not call for the vote. It is unanimous. Approved. Thank you. We'll go to item P, approved purchase of laptops for staff. Mr. Martin.
So, Mr. Hill, I'm very excited. One of the things I'm most excited about this bond is that we're going to be paying for laptops for our teachers. I know we're behind the curve on that for a lot of years. My question is, where does the 475 come from? Is it a phase thing, or does that cover all classroom teachers? Or on the count on this, on item, what is this, P? Purchase for the staff, there's a 475 units that we're procuring.
Okay, that was our best effort to determine roughly how many teachers are not in the TIP program, how many are exiting, and how many we think are going to try to join. So information is fixing to be sent out to the district for options for teachers with respect to the TIP program contract. And then we'll get more firm numbers. If the 475 is not enough, then we'll bump it to include whatever additional numbers we encounter.
What can you explain to me the TIP, what that program entails? Is it changing now? Are we providing this free of cost to them, or is before they were paying
Yes, sir.
a contract?
Previously the TIP program was set up such that, or the current iteration is set up that you get to choose a type of device. Right now, we're offering two options. One is like this. It's a nice large laptop. It's a business class device. It's a little bit more expensive. They run about $1,000. I know you can go to Walmart and get one for $200, but these are actually quite nice. And then we're offering, some people like the lightness and the size of the student devices, so some teachers have got those. So basically what the district is doing is saying, okay, you're buying this and you're using it, but you're using it for our purposes. So every year in this 3-year program, we're going to give you $150 toward the cost of that device. And so with the student device, it was essentially paid for. At the end of the 3 years, the employee takes it home, it exits our system, and then they re-up for the TIP program for the next 3 years. I sent 3 kids through college on my wife and my retired TIP program devices. It was good for us. But we'll be moving to a device that will essentially let them take them home and treat them the same way, but they won't own it.
And there will be no cost to them.
No.
How, the people that bought it in, say, I don't know, last year or 2 years ago, will they have the option to opt into the new system with no cost? Or they have to do that full 3-year contract?
No, the new TIP program is going away.
So we're going to phase them out. We're creating options right now. We're going to have a draft meeting tomorrow, actually, that'll have some options for those that are part of that contract, and they'll have the ability to get out early, and there's some things we're building in. So
awesome.
when we say staff laptop, they will have it free of charge.
That's what I want to hear. Thank you.
Yep.
So when they leave, they get to keep this computer? No?
The TIP deal would be different.
Not the new ones.
The one
Okay.
through the bond, no.
Okay, that's what I thought. Good. Thanks.
well, we've already approved the laptop carts, so hopefully we move forward with approving
I don't know, it's gonna be a tough sell.
Just,
Mr. Hill, don't go too far, because it's next item, okay? But, are there any further questions on item P? Okay, if not, seek a motion? So, Mr. Shoppy made a motion.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Perez. Any further discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is unanimous. Approved. Okay. Go to item Q, approve purchase of laptops for students, and that was me. On the student devices, are those going to be touchscreen?
Yes, sir.
And my other question is are they going to be one of those laptops that you can actually fold back and almost act like an iPad kind of deal?
It comes with a garageable pen, and it will fold back like a tablet, or you can PP it. You can stand it on this long edge, and the screen will orient to whatever direction it's sitting in.
Okay.
As soon as you fold it back a certain degree, the keyboard is disabled.
Yeah.
You set it down.
One thing about the pens, just in my own experience, the students lose the pens, so
Yes, they
it's just
do.
a little bit easier to touch screen with the fingers, you know. But
The only problem with not using the pen is that the pen is active, not
Yeah.
passive, so that the system knows when the pen touches the screen, that if you lay your hand on the screen, it knows to ignore that input.
And are we going to have some kind of insurance policy that students get in case there's some if the students are carrying these one to one, that there's some insurance policy or something that they could get that in case of accidents or things like that?
We don't make the students pay for that, but this quote includes accidental breakage protection.
Okay.
it was my understanding that on the lower levels, that they were actually staying on campus, they were not being sent home with the students, is that correct?
Okay.
Making sure that.
And breakage it goes way down when it's
They stay there, yeah.
Okay.
How long should all of these last? Like, what is the time period? Year,
Really,
2
it
years, 3
really
years?
depends. In previous years, we've gotten laptops that were a decade old that we were still using. Now that is too long to use a laptop. So what we try to do is we try to look at something called the usable life of the device. We don't just say, oh, it's 18 years old, it's got to go, or 18 days old, or months, whatever, it's got to go. We look at whether or not the device is still meeting our needs, whether it's still supportable, whether parts for it are still inexpensive. At some point in time, people quit making replacement parts and they get too expensive to repair.
How long is the warranty? Is it this 3-year warranty? Is that what it says?
3-year warranty, yes, sir.
Okay. That's all.
Board, any further questions for Mr. Okay, thank you, Mr. If not, seek a motion.
So
Mr. Sharpie made a motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Hanks. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. Okay, y'all just did it before I even looked up there. Jeff, or did you vote for?
Russell's just, that's what, you know.
Oh my God. It's unanimously approved, okay. You want to challenge that? Okay. Okay. S, approve purchase of sound and projection systems installation services. I guess my only question is on the sound bar. Is that, is that going to be, I guess, in front of the classroom? I guess above the...
No, sir, it's going to be centrally mounted in the middle of the classroom.
Okay.
And it'll be wireless. So the microphone that the teacher wears will, and the reason we like this, it provides sound like if they're showing a video or a movie or whatever, but also when the teacher speaks, no matter where they're at in the room, they're being projected centrally so that there's a good chance that all of the kids can hear them clearly. And one of the probably most common comments is that it reduces fatigue.
Okay.
Well, is this only for classrooms, or will this also be in the common areas like the cafeteria and stuff like that?
No, ma'am, that's a different kind of sound system. Okay. This is strictly classroom.
Thank you.
I appreciate that we're using someone from LaPorte for this. Pfeiffer and Sons.
Oh, yeah, they've been good to us.
Okay, board, any further questions? Okay, seek a motion. Mr. Sharpie made a motion. Seconded by Mr. Hanks. Discussion? If not, call for the vote. It is unanimous. Okay. We'll go to item T, approve resale of tax foreclosure property described as Lot 17 and Block 73 of the town of Bayview in addition in Harris County, Texas, according to the map or plat thereof, filled in the real property of Harris County, Texas, account number 006-249-000-0017. Ms. Thompson.
Great job saying all that. Couple of things. First of all, I can't get any of my attachments to pull up to make a good statement right now, but I wanted to understand where this piece of property is. It says according to the map and plat thereof, but there was no map or plat thereof attached. And it can't be a very big piece of property if we're only trying to get $1,800 for it.
Right, so it is in Morgan's Point, and we can get you the map. It was not attached, but we will find it and get it to you, but, yes, it's not, and so it's actually for, you know, back in, there was a tax lien put on it, and back in 2000 for taxes not paid by this, property owner from 1978 to 1998, and so that's.
Do you know the street address? Or
I do not, but we definitely will find that out.
Okay, I had concerns as I looked through all the attachments on this as to who was buying it. It was a person out of a suburb of Chicago. So I started researching this person, and this person's website says, we like to cause trouble. And they like to buy a property that no one wants until they own it, and then they cause trouble for the people that are around it that maybe need access to another property, or what's the name on there? I can't see it because I can't.
Nasty Joe.
Nasty Joe. So Nasty Joe does crazy stuff to people. And I'm not sure for $1,800 I want to subject any of our citizens to Nasty Joe's craziness.
Yeah. Board can choose not to accept a.
Yeah, you do not have to do it.
Yeah.
We do not have a debt obligation on this property. We're just trying to capture a lien. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Until we learn more.
Can we put it off until we substantiate that Joe's crazy or whatever, that he's nasty? Yeah.
Yeah, we can table it if you want to table it.
I want to reject it. I want to reject it. I mean, that's my preference, but
It's the board's pleasure.
I mean, I'll seek a motion.
I mean, I trust Dan, but
We're seeking a motion for what?
What's your
accept, reject, or table?
I make a motion to table. I'll say table.
Table it. Okay, Mr. Hanks made a motion to table.
second.
Seconded by Mr. Perez. Discussion? Not call for the vote. Okay, it's unanimous. Okay. With that, we'll go to item 12, action on closed session items. We do not have any. So we'll go item 13, closing comments of the board of trustees and superintendent. A, attendance at recent district and community events. B, announcement of upcoming district and community events. C, outstanding performance by district staff and students. Board. Do you have any comments?
Always have something to say. I just, again, want to thank Chris Murdoch for his service to the district and the community, and wish him well. And welcome Mason to the board. Also want to acknowledge my mom, who will take her last assignment Monday. She started working for the district 40 years ago, and she's only worked in the district 25, but she started with the district when I started school 40 years ago. And so she is taking her last assignment at Heritage on Monday. She's pretty emotional leaving College Park today, so, but I know she's watching, so kudos to her. And then acknowledge the $1.9 million in scholarships that were awarded last week. That was pretty phenomenal. And then most importantly, I really want to just acknowledge and again thank the community for passing this bond. I think more than the dollars and cents that it represented, there represented a consensus that people are really getting behind LaPorte ISD. And there's excitement in the community, there's excitement on the campus, and that's what it's about. And it inspires you, go out there and want to go extra and do more. And you're just seeing more parent participation. We're starting to see community participation, and there's an awakening, so to speak, and it's really, really refreshing to see, and I hope that we can continue that effort. I know everybody's working really, really hard on campus, and you can just see it. I mean, even something as simple as the parade. I mean, that wasn't a Chamber of Commerce weather day at all, but to see the community involvement on that day and then see the school district's participation, it just makes you feel good and makes you, you know, put your chest out there and have some pride. So, again, just applaud every single person that was involved in any way, in any capacity, for doing it. And I know Dr. Jackson, Dr. Bromley, you guys were huge driving this thing, and I know it's exhausting. So anyway, just appreciate it, and thank everybody. Thank all the administrators that are here. I know you had a long day with STAR testing, and just appreciate it. It was a great year. Let's finish on a high note.
Anybody else? I just want to echo the same thing Mr. Hanks said. Thank Mr. Murdoch for his service. Mason, welcome to the board. And to kind of put it in the context of what Mr. Hanks had said earlier, this past election was the second highest turnout in LaPorte ISD's May electoral history. And people came out in margins not seen since 2005. So that speaks volumes of not only of the community and their views on the school district, our superintendent, the administration, and this board, and to continue to lead and address the needs of this district. And so I want to thank the public for coming out and voting. And with that, anybody further like to make any further comments?
I'll say this, I'll echo your thoughts on, Mason, I want to say welcome to the board, man. I've had the chance to serve with you on a bunch of different boards here locally, and I know you can bring a lot of passion and excitement and energy and heart to the board, so man, I'm excited to have you, man. So buckle up for sure. Also, man, we're so thankful. I'm really happy that for all the people that came and participated over the last 18 plus months as we formulated that bond package, all the citizens that were involved, the PAC committee, all the, certainly all the district people. But I'm so thankful that it wasn't just, we took our time on it. We came up with our best plan, and I'm very happy to have the outcome that we did. And now we can move on to bigger and brighter things. So thank you guys, Dr. Jackson and your team, for all the work. I know it's just starting now, but I'm glad the phase one part of it of getting approved is passed. I will say this again, the parade. So it was awesome, Dr. Jackson, your leadership, to have all the schools out there for the Silm Beach Parade. And thank you, Mason, if you guys don't know, he's the one that coordinates that parade for us. It is an awesome thing, a tradition here in LaPorte, so we thank the district for being part of that. Terry Cook is in the house. She is helping us with Lemonade, our second annual Lemonade Day. That is next Saturday here at Bulldog Stadium. So if you guys, we really wanted to make it a special day for those kids. We have 39 teams. There's over 100 kids, 39 teams. Consists of 4th, 5th, and 6th graders here in LaPorte. And we just ask, certainly, the board, guys, if you are free on Saturday, come in and support these kids. Come and just meet with them. I'll even give you money. We want you guys to spend money at the stands and make them feel special. I'm dead serious. Yeah, bring cash, and we're praying. God's going to take care of it. We're going to have a great weather again, but we thank the district and all those involved in helping to make that happen. Oh, and congratulations, Mrs. Hanks. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We got 6 knucklehead Hanks through the
Anybody else?
Bulldogs have playoffs at Senior King Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, potentially. So, you gotta support the dogs.
Mr. Paris, do you have anything?
I think everyone's ready to go home. No comment.
Ooh, good.
Okay. With that, we are adjourned at 9:03 p.m. Thank y'all.